A very good morning to you all. I am V. Sunita, Faculty of Computer Science Department, TSW RDCW Warangal East. Today I am going to discuss about software development life cycle. A software is a set of programs. So this set of programs acts as a project. So this project is help us to solve any real world applications like railway reservation system, airline reservation system, banking applications and many more. Like this, whenever we develop any software project, to develop it we need systematic approach. So what are the steps to be followed in order to develop a quality software product? So SDLC is a software development life cycle. It is a step-by-step process to develop any kind of software application. So to develop software we have to follow these phases. There are 6 different phases in developing software project. The first phase is requirements gathering and analysis phase, design phase, development or coding phase, then comes testing phase, after that deployment phase, finally maintenance or support phase. So coming to the first phase, requirement gathering and analysis phase. The goal of this phase is to develop a document consisting of functional as well as non-functional requirements. For any application, it may be a banking or railway reservation system, will have both functional as well as non-functional requirements. If we consider banking application, so in online banking, so every user, if they want to have access to their account, first they must log into their account, then he can perform any kind of transaction. So this is an example of functional requirement. Similarly, so for the same banking application, so if the client or a bank, it puts a condition like at a time it must support 500 users, then it is an example for non-functional requirements. So we have to gather both information about both functional as well as non-functional requirements in the application. So the persons involved in this process of developing requirements is business analysts, functional or business users, architects, lead developers, project manager or scrum master. So these stakeholders, they are going to have discussions, brainstorming sessions, interviews, prototyping or role playing or reviewing of existing similar kind of products to have complete set of requirements. So after this we are going to have set of actors or identified actors who are going to be involved in the application, and set of use cases, screen prototypes, user interface designs, reviewed and approved requirements. For example, say if we take bank applications, the actors involved are like clients, managers, customers, clerk, like that various actors are involved in it. Use cases are perform withdrawal operation, perform retrieval operation, and next perform loans or take the loans, like that many other different use cases are involved. So related to all use cases we need to have different screens, user interface designs. So like this, all these are documented into a document named SRS, Software Requirement Specification Document. Once this is approved, this acts as a base for developing software. Next comes our design phase. So design acts as a base for developing application. So the requirements identified in the previous phase are converted into a design. So in the requirement phase we are going to identify what are to be done. So what are the requirements? So what is your application? That is, we are going to have clear understanding of what is to be done. So when coming to the design phase, we are going to identify how it should be solved, okay, how the requirements are solved, okay. So we are going to finally come up with a solution how it can be solved. So during this phase, we are going to develop software architecture or design based on the approved functional as well as non-functional requirements. So who are going to be involved in this design phase? Architects as well as development leaders are going to be involved to develop design phase documents. So the process is design discussions are going to be held and architecture references, similar architecture references to the existing projects, and design patterns references, that is what kind of design patterns while developing the application can be used, and it also refers to the requirement phase deliverables. So during these phases, by using all these inputs, we are going to develop a document called detailed design document. So this detailed design document consists of database design, integration design, application design, infrastructure design, and next these designs are reviewed and approved by the clients, okay. Like this, we are going to develop a detailed design document at the end of design phase. So next comes development or coding phase. During this phase, we are going to develop software programs using chosen programming language. So these programs must meet all the design phase requirements. So whatever we have approved in the design phase, all those must be met by software programs. So who are going to be involved in this? Both developers like high level leader developers and teams are involved during this phase. So the process used for developing application is review the existing designs and write the programs based on the design. So once this process is completed, we are going to have a completed software development, so which will have reviewed and approved software programs, okay. So that is after this phase we will have an executable programs which are going to solve our application. Next comes testing phase. During testing phase, we are going to test both functional and non-functional requirements whether they are satisfied by the developed product. So who are going to perform this testing? So testers are going to perform both the functional as well as non-functional requirements. So what is the process followed? Based on the requirements, so these requirements are available in our SRS, which is a document developed during requirement phase. So based on that, the testers are going to develop and execute various test cases. So the test cases belongs to unit test cases, integration test cases, load and performance test cases, and also user acceptance testing. So all different possible kinds of tests are performed to check whether all the requirements are satisfied or not. So by the end of this phase, we are going to have completed development and execution of test cases, reviewed and approved test results. Next comes our deployment phase. During this phase, we are going to move the developed software into production environment so that the user can access the software. So during this phase, so by this phase, we are going to have completed software product. It is ready for use. So it is deployed into an environment where the user can access it and use it. So who are the stakeholders involved in this deployment phase? There are lead developers, software configuration managers, team members, infrastructure team, project manager, and users are also involved during this deployment phase. The process used to deploy is the project manager deployment is going to coordinate with the deployment plan with the stakeholders and the set of deployment dates, and they are going to move the software to the production. Next comes our maintenance or support phase. So during this phase, we are going to fix the software bugs or issues that are identified during usage of the software application in production environment. The developers or lead developers and users are going to involved in the maintenance phase. The process used is update and test the software programs to fix the identified issues or bugs in the deployment. Next, finally we are going to have software application with after big bug fixes is available and it can be used by the users. So the total 6 phases are used in developing the software. So the software development life cycle consists of total 6 different phases. These phases help us to perform various issues, and it also helps us to develop a quality product in a systematic approach, so that we are going to develop an efficient software product which satisfies all the requirements within the budget limits as well as scheduled timings. So it is required to develop any software, we require a systematic approach. If this approach is followed, definitely we are going to end up with a software product that is more efficient as well as a good quality software. Thank you very much.